Why don't pirates shower before they walk the plank? Because they wash up on shore. Thank you. Now, that was a really, really bad joke, and odds are it didn't make you laugh out loud, and I could hear very minimal laughs, so I'm right. But maybe it made you smile, even just a bit. How many times do you laugh a day? You probably don't know. That's probably something you don't even notice. I want you to think about the last thing you remember that made you laugh. What was it? Who was it? Whatever it was, it had the ability to take you away from reality, even just for a brief moment. Comedy has the power to shape the way we view things. It tells the stories that are too painful to hear told through dramas, and it brings light to situations that are too painful to relive. So, we poke fun at the pain to tell these stories. And using laughter as a way to tell these stories and cope with the negativity allows for our minds to have a period of relief. And when I was younger, my dad told me something that stuck with me. He said, if you're laughing, you can't be crying. Comedy has a way of bringing us into the present moment and pushing all the other stressors aside for just a moment. According to the Mayo Clinic, laughter not only activates your stress relief response, but can also help improve your immune system. So, laughing and positive thoughts can help in many different ways. Comedy not only has short-term relief, but also long-term responses. I, just probably like all of you, have come home after hard days of school, 3 tests, none of which I think actually went well, hours of homework ahead of me, and no hope for getting to bed at a reasonable hour. But instead of focusing on that frustration, I shockingly procrastinate, and I turn to something that I know will make me smile without fail. For me, that's SNL. After just an hour of smiling, laughing, and stress-free, I'm no longer worried about the hours of homework that I have ahead of me because my mindset is no longer focused on the negative. As I'm sure you've all heard someone say at least once in your life, and if you say no, you're probably just lying. It takes more muscles to frown than to smile. So why not utilize that? For English classes, we've all had to write some creative piece, and I love writing, but sometimes those creative pieces are hard for me to come up with. The ideas just don't come to me. So I stick to something that I'm comfortable with, and I know. I wrote comedic short stories. Now, none of them were actually very good whatsoever, but that didn't matter, because I was doing something that I enjoyed and using comedy in an outlet that worked for me. Now, a large part of comedy and making others laugh is stepping out of your comfort zone. When I was a freshman, I was scared, nervous, and very introverted. But now, as I look back on my time in high school, I can say I'm confident in who I am, largely due to my passion for comedy. Now, sharing jokes with friends, families, and others is not the easiest thing in the world, because there is that fear that I share my humor and they might not find it funny. So it takes being vulnerable. Improv drives comedy and is all original, unlike other scripted material. Now, I've been acting for a long time, and if you were to ask me my favorite part about being up on stage, it's the ability to connect with an audience enough to make them laugh. Out of all the performances I've been a part of, one of the ones I've learned the most from was being a talent show MC. That was because I got direct feedback with the audience about what I was doing. I could hear the laughter, and it fueled me to give a better performance because I knew something I was doing others were enjoying, and I loved that. I took them away from their reality, even just for a moment, by making them laugh. And by them being present, they were taken away from the stressors of their school, homework, and job, and just living in the present moment. So next time you hear a ridiculous joke that you might not find funny, like the one I said earlier, I encourage you guys to just laugh, enjoy the joke. So whatever it was that made you laugh most recently, appreciate it. Because that comedy does so much more than you might ever expect. Thank you.